Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1251. And today we've got Words and Wisdom Wednesday, Wickedly Smart Women. We are reading from an anthology by uh, Angel B. Hartwell. I've got to, let's see, put it over here. Let's do this. Let's see if this works. Oh, let's see if that works. The Choices We Make. Wickedly Smart Women, Chapter 5 by Batoul J. Batoul. Oh, are you still there? Cat, dumb cat. Did you see that? That was my cat. That was my cat. That was Dea. She decided she was going to escape from Esri. See, Esri happens to know now that when I come, when I happen to go online and start doing this, um, okay, 1251. All right, Morsels of a Thought. Yay. Okay, that was a cat that just jumped in there. All right. Let's do this. It might be a little shorter. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we are. We're reading a chapter. I don't know exactly if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hope I'm not butchering it. Batoul Ajlouni, and the choices we make. Batoul Ajlouni, the choices we make. Can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this. It's as if hearing my own voice repeating the words over and over again in a myriad of melodies and emotions is the only way to make what I have just done stick. Good morning, John Clark. How are you? It's already dark as I get into my car. Nothing drastically unusual about the level of daylight or the lack thereof as I leave the office building this evening. The view from my windshield, however, seems slightly different. A little brighter, maybe, a little wider. Which route do I take today? I ask myself. Doesn't matter much, really, but I have to turn one way or the other, so I decide to make a right. There is a spot just around the corner where the street reaches a T. Nothing more than your standard intersection, unless you happen to be there before sundown to catch one of the most spectacular air shows that takes place in the heart of the city. An area where the edge of the hilltop meets an open sky and birds soar in free play, circling up and down air currents in a daily ritual to bid the sun farewell. Too bad I missed the act today. The mere thought of it as I reach that viewpoint lifts me up, like it manages to do every time I'm fortunate enough to be there before the curtain falls. Taking a left at the junction, I catch myself smiling while I drive down that same hill. Stopping at the first traffic light, I lay my head back in a thoughtful moment, this time one of hope instead of the usual despair I have lately become so used to. What will tomorrow bring? I wonder, and I realize tomorrow will be the weekend. That obviously means that today is the last work day of the week. What makes this day different, though, is that it also happens to be the last work day of the year, and still not fully comprehending the situation I am in, today is in fact the last working day for me. The choices we make. The trees are almost done preparing for winter, going away whatever remains of their hanging leaves, giving away whatever remains of their hanging leaves to the soft wind blowing outside my windshield. Oh, how I miss being in the outdoors. Such a shame summer had come and gone once again. Summer with a capital S. While I was busy fighting fires, helplessly suffocating behind closed doors. Not a good place for me or anyone else to be in, regardless of the season. Red turns green, and I drive ahead. A long stretch of the road takes me back 30 years to a place I have been thinking of a lot. A specific decision I made back then that had pivoted my career and kick-started my entrepreneurial journey. I have been wondering what my life would look like had I not gone down that path. It was what I had wanted to build my own company. I had no interest in climbing anyone else's corporate ladder. What I had wanted was to create a startup that would one day grow into a corporate business others could rise through. That became my goal, my life for 3 long decades nonstop, until one day it all stopped when a glimpse in a long forgotten mirror reflected an unhappy, old, and tired soul who seemed to have been wearing my body for quite a while. A complete stranger looked me in the eye and said, I own you. How, why, and when that takeover happened is beyond me. At some undefined point in time during the past few years, my unbeatable drive and passion for work had started to drain, and bit by bit, the fire I had in me, that same fire that had ignited my career life for decades, had started to burn me instead. Stillness had left me for good. All I've dreamed of ever since was the life I had missed out on. All I could think of was the continuous urge to break out of those prison walls, the same corporate walls I have spent half of my life building. Sleep has been impossible, so is getting that exhausted body out of mind, out of bed every morning. Peace seems to have abandoned my soul the day anxiety came into my life and announced itself as my new ugly companion. Enough! The horrifying image I saw at that moment sickened me, and my new mission from that point on was to get my life back on track. The choices we make. That choice ranked quite high on the decisions no one ever wants to take scale, since it would immediately and without mercy catapult me into a path no enthusiastic, successful, middle-aged workaholic would ever want to tread, the unknown. No work, no plan in mind, no drafted future, and no idea of whatsoever of my days would look like. I was frightened. I was confused. I was determined. I can't believe I finally did this. Change is simpler and less turbulent when we're young, or at least when we have some sort of destination in mind, regardless of how foggy or distant it may be. Or maybe the decision I actually made that day, the road I had chosen the moment I stood in front of my darkened reflection, truly deserved its rough rating. After all, it did mark the end of an era. That decision inaugurated the retirement of my career, something no one's ever prepared for, I believe. But then again, what choices did I have? My life was at stake, my mind, my body, my soul. I reach another red light. Ah, rush hour. A much underrated perk of working late day in and day out is that we get to skip the unforgiving routine of drive back traffic. Doesn't bother me much today, though. I have nowhere specific to be, and for once, time is not an issue. So I turn on the radio and relax. The DJ is hyped, understandably so. It is the festive season, after all, and the new year is just around the corner. Happy, hopeful tunes, but I'm not there yet, so I change the channel. A man in the car next to me is on the phone having what appears to be a serious back and forth, a suit in an intense argument. Trouble at work, probably, something that has become the norm for me in the last year or so. Stop dwelling on the past. It's over now, I tell myself. Ah, how can I? This has been my dream career. 30 years of my life that I have just ditched. How did it ever get to this point? Wasn't I the one who created this? This was my dream, no one else's. Haven't I been fighting to spend every waking moment nurturing it, making sure that nothing would ever change its forward track? Hasn't this been my passion, my one and only priority in life? When did it all turn against me? Where has my fire gone? What stole my energy, my hope, my heart? Who let that stranger in? And who is that hypocrite into whom I have just turned? For years, I have been mentoring young entrepreneurs, advising them to put their careers ahead of everything else in life: family, friends, fun, and I was their living and breathing example. Nothing else mattered in my opinion until one day everything else started to matter. This role model broke. What will my tomorrow bring, I wonder? The traffic light changes, but I don't make it across in time. Breathe. I change the channel back to that lively station and I turn it up a notch. Hopefully, my ever enthusiastic DJ friend will help stop those draining thoughts of mine. I know I have to start living the moment. Take my time do things I enjoy, be with the ones I love, walk slower, and hopefully sleep better. I start thinking of all the things I've always wished I had the time for: family, friends, exercise, travel, catch up on my reading, stare into nothingness, or hike the world. Oh, and now I can finally get to that 10,000-piece jigsaw puzzle I've been dying to challenge myself with. I am definitely not short on ideas about keeping busy. I have 30 years of catching up to do. However, I cannot help the feeling that's burning inside of me. The feeling of guilt, loss, and worthlessness. Who am I without work? I need time to figure out the mess I've drowned myself in, and time is what I have plenty of at this point. Red turns green again. I drive ahead and finally manage to make it through the traffic light. A song about the power of magic comes up on the radio. It, is it in my head? Life is magical. Is it right for us to set it aside, ignore everything it has to offer, and watch it all pass us by in the name of our careers? Could I promise I made to myself could the promise I made to myself in front of the mirror that day, that frightful decision I made, could it have been a magical one? Some sort of bitter yet inescapable choice that would eventually kickstart a whole new life for me, a sweet change, an alternate path, and a different destination, even though I'm in my dreaded 50s. The choices we make. The simple ones don't seem to register much in our heads, do they? Many we seem many we make Many we even make subconsciously. It's those hard choices that leave their marks on our lives. And this one undoubtedly up there. I hope it will save me. I need to be saved. A new chapter in my life has just begun. A journey into the unknown. Is that a place I have planned to be in? Not in a million years. It is one I need in order to bring my old self back to life. I turn right and make my last stretch uphill before reaching home. Tomorrow is new. Tomorrow should be beautiful. Why not? Tomorrow will be unlike any other day. And now, over 5 years have passed since that day I took my last drive from work. But I feel I have grown younger, at least another 5, in both body and spirit. Life has much to offer: beauty, love, adventure. We cannot afford to live on autopilot. Our dreams can change. Our priorities will always change, and for one reason or another, we may even find ourselves replacing old joys with new. And that's okay. That's the thrill of life, and I'm now set on a path to explore it. The trail I have chosen has not been the easiest, but so far it has proven to be quite rejuvenating. Unexpected, to say the least, packed with reflections and challenges and experience I had neither planned nor anticipated. But that's where the adventure comes into play, and this phase of my life has certainly been an adventure, a self discovery, and a recreation of me in every sense of the word. I am now on a mission to make up for the times I've missed, the joys I had given up, and the limitations I've lived because ooh, I I am now on a mission to make up for the times I've missed, the joys I had given up, and the limitations I've lived through because of work, or rather because of what I've have allowed work to put me through. It all started out as a dream I aimed to fulfill, but I had pushed myself a little too far, and in the process, I had simply forgotten to live. Healing doesn't come easy. Anxiety doesn't set you free in a day or a week, not even in a year, especially when it's been holding you hostage long enough. I'm opening up to the world and now and to what it's throwing at me, but I'm also creating a new world around me, one that aligns to harmony with my new priorities and aspirations. We burn out not because of too much work, but because of losing control over our own lives. We burn out because of not enough living. At times, we need to let go of what has become our norm, to push ourselves away from our comfort zone and step up to new heights. We need to make those hard choices so that other opportunities can open up, just like those autumn leaves we all love to watch. Those leaves sacrificed so that the trees can survive the winter months. They let go in order to make room for a fresh start, for growth, for the life that awaits them when spring finally arrives. This is where I find myself today. I have survived the storm and let my old leaves blow away in the wind, ready for this new life of mine to sprout and blossom. I have restarted my career and jump started my life at an age many of us dread. And what a trip it has been so far. I have ditched the success I spent half of my life building to search for the passion I had lost somewhere along the way. In their process, in the process, I found a different breed of success, colored with experiences, achievements, and reward I had not expected. I have revived my activity, my capacity to learn again, to fall again, to restart, discover those hidden horizons, dream and excel and build something new. Yes, I have given Ooh, I have pivoted my entire being after 50, and I'm now crafting new opportunities for myself, tapping into areas I didn't even know existed, exploring what life has to offer and what I can bring to this world yet again. Creativity does not stop. Dreams don't stop. Our interests, our passions, and age may change, but our drive for life should never stop. We all need purpose. We all have a spirited entrepreneur inside of us. We're human. It's in our nature to survive, to take risks, to create, learn, play, and serve, to explore, love, and wonder. The day we stop doing all that is the day we cease to exist. Today is new. Today is beautiful. Today is unlike any other day. So Batoul Ajlouni is this is her photo here. Let me see if I can get this up here. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, so we see her photo from far away. Um, this is what she looks like. I wish I could bring it a little closer, but it doesn't seem to be letting me. So I'll read her little little autograph here. Batoul Ajlouni is the award-winning author of Ditching Success with a question mark. She has firsthand experience with burnout mode. She has firsthand experience with burnout mode and had to make the most challenging career decision to save her life. She is an entrepreneur, a passionate workaholic, and a former business executive with many years of experience in 15 of the world's toughest markets. She co founded her company at the age of 24 before serving as a senior business executive at a leading IT firm, helping it grow into a multinational corporation. Batoul Ajlouni lived to pursue her dream of professional success. 30 years later, she reached the very height of her career, but the very lowest point of her life. Self reflection and self discovery helped her move from work burnout to a life reinvented. Batoul Ajlouni is now a writer and a life explorer, sharing her findings and transformational discoveries with audiences searching for answers. Her memoir, Ditching Success? Has won multiple awards and is available on Amazon.com. Connect with Batoul at www.batoulajlouniauthor.com. So there we are. We have read chapter 5 of Wickedly Smart Women. Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, Transforming Worlds by the anthology by Angel B. Hartwell. We read about her as well. So, once again, good morning, and we shall see you tomorrow. I hope to inspire you to have a great day. My cats are also doing the same for me as they. And then I will be hoping to impart some real wisdom to people and hope to make everybody do what is wise. Now, the fortune cookie I once received was wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, virtue is the doing of it. So if we all do what we know is wise, we will turn this into a better world. Okay? Old Kinderhook.